How do you do, sir?
Hello, Mr. Milquetoast.
Have a seat, please. We have some important and basic issues to discuss with you about God and the Bible. Now, Reverend, let's get right to the point. How do you feel about the future and continuation of slavery in the United States, particularly in the South?
You see, Mr. Milquetoast, the Bible speaks of slavery as an established fact of civilization. It is the same as owning an ox or any other farm animal. In fact, in Exodus chapter 21, the rules for handling slaves are the same as for owning an ox.
Really? Could you give us an example of that?
Certainly. Let me read to you the passages from Exodus chapter 21.
All right.
First it says, these are the rules regarding slaves. And this comes right after the Ten Commandments spoken by God in chapter 20. Oh. And it says, when you purchase a Hebrew slave, he is to serve you for 6 years. But in the 7th year, he shall be given his freedom without cost. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then it says, when a man strikes his male or female slave with a rod so hard that the slave dies under his hand, he shall be punished. Okay? All right. And if, however, the slave survives for a day or two, he is not to be punished, since the slave is his own property. Okay? All right. Let me go on. When a man strikes his male or female slave in the eye and destroys the use of the eye, he shall let the slave go in compensation for the eye.
I understand. Well, it's kind of hard to argue with that, but is that supposed to be fair and kind then?
The Lord is always fair. Look at verses 7, 8, and 9. When a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go free as male slaves do, but if her master, who had destined her for himself, dislikes her, he shall let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to a foreigner, since he has broken faith with her. If he destines her for his son, he shall treat her like a daughter.
I see your point, but what about the morality of buying and selling another human being and owning a person?
The Bible is silent on that point, but let me read to you from Deuteronomy.
All right.
And that would be chapter 5 and verses 14 and 15. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. No work may be done then, whether by you or your son or daughter, or your male or female slave, or your ox or ass, or any of your beast, or the alien who lives with you. Your male and female slave should rest as you do. For remember that you too were once slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God brought you from there with his strong hand and outstretched arm. So you can't criticize slavery because its practices are accepted by the Lord as okay and natural.
I see. Well, Reverend Pithos, I can't pin you down to disagree with the Holy Bible, but do you have any personal feelings about the practice of slavery?
Mr. Milquetoast, I have opinions, but most of my parishioners are slave owners, as is with most denominations in the South. So I can't offend my own flock, so to speak, or I would lose them and their support of my church. And I think this is true in all the southern states.
Reverend, that's pathetic. Slavery should be removed from the Bible. Slaves have rights too.
Your sheep, you mean? Well, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't attack the Bible or remove Exodus chapter 21 from it because religion is protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Wait a minute, let me see this.
You can't do that.
Oh, yeah?
This is the Holy Bible.
Watch this. I don't like these passages either.
You can't. Mr. Milquetoast, can't you do something about her?
No, she comes with the station. As I was about to say, I guess slavery will have to be removed by force